Hello, my name is Herbel Santiago. I'm a writer, a teacher, a motivational speaker, and a proud Filipina. Today, I will be reading the essay The Homeless Man That Saved Us All. He was dirty, grimy, and rugged, a homeless man with a bit of an attitude. His mute, only able to utter gibberish snarls and growls. He made exaggerated poses to make himself understood. He parked tricycles, a mode of transportation, for a meager living, easily angered when tired drivers were unable to heed his instructions properly. Over here, he will motion, silent but emphatic all the same. He was an eccentric being. Regular overworked persons would much rather evade him, putting as much distance away from him as possible. That included me. Yet, that man saved my life, and many others. It was a usual Saturday afternoon, the day that would afford me a breather from the usual tiring work days. To save on expenses, I rented a boarding house with 5 other friends. That particular day, I was busy washing clothes. My friends were equally preoccupied, happily contented at being able to catch up on their favorite TV shows and missed school assignments. Until we heard an uncharacteristic, totally irritating, hysterical knocks and growls at our gate. Annoyed at the disturbance, my friend Addie stomped to the gate to silence the unwelcome intruder. It was him, the mute, homeless man. His eyes were wide and his growls were ardent, motioning at the neighbor's store beside our boarding house with desperate urgency. The place was smoking. The smoking store was blocking our gate and our exit, potentially imprisoning us. We were, most unluckily, sitting ducks. Upon seeing this smoke, Adi froze. I, half conscious, lifted the tub of wash water, carried it outside, and shouted at the top of my lungs, "Fire! Fire!" Everyone scampered outside. My neighbor, powered by a dash of adrenaline, barged inside his burning store. He rescued his whimpering puppy, several of its fur singed, and turned the stove off. Only when the smoke finally cleared and everyone had sunk down to the pavement, overcame by nerves and relief, did I feel the throbbing of my tired muscles. The tub of water, apparently, was heavy. At that moment, when we were faced with a near death experience, everyone forgot about their laptops, monies, even important documents. Material things ceased to matter. Lives, we realized, were more important. We were lucky that we evaded a fire that could have ravaged us all. And I would never forget that it was because of one homeless man's act of kindness. His timely communication, notwithstanding the fact that he was mute, saved us all. Underneath the senseless and gibberish exterior, I can now recognize he was a man who cares, not because I had done anything good to him, far from it, but because he was simply and genuinely good. After the commotion was over, the homeless man went back to his daily routine, perfectly ignoring us again. But I have changed. I, for one, would never forget his unscripted bravery. After 3 years, whenever I came back to Katipunan to visit my old place, I would see him engaged in a hot debate with grinning tricycle drivers, who made it their sport to park at the exact space where he specifically told not to. They called him Toto. It wasn't his real name, and we had no way of knowing what his real name really was. I tried to catch his eyes, but he wouldn't look. In the mere seconds that our eyes met, there was blankness in his bloodshot eye, uncomprehending and unfocused. I doubted very much if he could still remember the day that he saved us. But I did. From then on, I stopped looking at homeless persons as non-entity, as non-existent. In my mind, I always tell myself, he has a story, he has a life. There's no inferior to me. The sun shines for the both of us, and the rain falls for the two of us. Miss, I looked at the young boy that tapped my arms. He was manning the small carinderia store. 65 pesos all in all, he said. I grimaced. Isn't that too expensive? I protested. He wanted Coke too, miss, replied the young boy, indicating the soft drink that accompanied the food he had given Toto. Toto, oblivious, was eating the food nonchalantly. I produced double the amount he mentioned and gave it to the boy. Give him food for dinner too, I said. Should I tell him it came from you, miss? I shook my head. No, don't. The world could be cruel and people could be mean. Yet, Toto's act of kindness restored my faith in humanity. There's always hope for the human race, and kindness could be real. Here, I said to the boy. Keep the change. Written in 2011. This was an old story, but a story that I still fondly recalls. Once again, this is Herbel Santiago. I'm a writer, a teacher, a motivational speaker, and a proud Filipina. If you want to read these stories, you may visit my website, herbelsantiagomanunulat.wordpress.com, and you can read this essay there. You may also visit my YouTube account. Thank you so much for your time. Thank the kindness of everyone around you. And one of these days, that kindness will help you. That's it. Have a good day. Bye.